Hello students, welcome to video lecture of computer science subject. In previous 10 videos, we have discussed about the unit 1. The unit 1 majorly we have discussed the main topics, important topics I have discussed. One is the types of data structures, one is the arrays, one dimensional arrays and two dimensional arrays. And we discussed the third chapter completely. We have discussed the third chapter, that is a stack, that is the most important. The third chapter we have discussed that stack concept. Stack is a linear data structure in which elements can be inserted and removed from only one end. That end is called as a top. Here we can perform the push operation and pop operation. The push operation means inserting an element. Pop operation is removing an element from stack. So we have discussed the how to perform operations on the stack, and we have used some logics also discussed, and we also discussed applications of the stack. One of the application of the stack is recursion. Now we are moving into the second unit. The second unit is, there are the three chapters. One is the recursion, one is the queue, and one is the linked list. So now the first chapter recursion, will discuss mainly three things. One is what is recursion, another one is how stack is used in the recursion, and third one is what are the various types of recursion. Here now we will see recursive function or recursion. So there is a word recursion. First, what do you mean by recursion? You will see. The recursion means that when the solution of a problem contains a sub problem. The solution of a problem contains a sub problem. That means, so for example, factorial of 5 is 5 into 4 factorial. Factorial of 5 is equal to 5 into factorial of 4. That means, if the solution of the 5 factorial contains another number factorial, that is called a recursive function. If you see another thing, for example, I will divide, there are the some 10 numbers are there. Some, for example, 10, 12, 16, 18, 20, some numbers are there like this. So, for example, I want to find out whether 16 is there or not. So, what will do? Instead of checking from 10 to 20, I will divide the list into two parts. In the middle element I will take the 16 is equal to middle element, I say that element is found. Otherwise, I will go to left or right. Again in the left list, again I will divide the list into two parts. Like that, we already discussed of the binary search. The same question asked in the examination also. So like that, the problem solution contains a sub problem. That problem is called as a recursive problem. So the recursive problems can be solved in concept of recursive function. So this recursive function contain, we already know, function is a block of programming code. Function is a block of programming code. Within this block of code, when you write a function, there are mainly three things. One is function definition and another one is function calling. Mainly these two things. So there is a function prototype is also that can be grown now. Function definition and calling. Function will be defined one place. Function calling will be done from another place. So this is a one block. This is another block. This is a function definition. This is another block. In this block, I am calling this function definition. So whenever I call this function definition, control jumps to this function definition. But if this function definition also consists a calling statement that calls the same function, that is called as a recursive function. That means a recursive function is a function that can call itself. That means this is a function, recursive function, this function definition is recursive if in this function definition there is a one calling statement that calls itself, that is called as a recursive function. Simply recursive function, a function can call itself, that is one of the statement of the function. This is a one function block, there are some statements are there, in these statements one statement calls its, that is called as a recursive function. One of the statements of the function is called to itself. So, such functions are called as a recursive functions. So, these recursive functions are used to handle, to properly or implement recursive problems. So, to solve this recursive problem, there must be an end condition. The end condition for recursive, for example, if you take a factorial, the factorial of 5 means we can say that factorial of 5 into 4. What is the 4 factorial? 4 into 3. What is the 3 factorial? 3 into 2. 2 factor. What is the 2 factorial? 2 into 1. What is the 1 factorial? 1. So, the factorial of 1 is 1, that is the end point of the recursion. Like that, there must be an end for each recursive function. The problem must have an end condition that can be stated as a in non-recursive terminologies. So, that is end avutundi. So, that is a non-recursive function concept, recursive function. So, now let us see, we consider example of computing a factorial of a number. The factorial of a number, say n is equal to the product of all integers from 1 to n. So, for example, n factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into, like that you can say that finally n. So, that we can give the recursive definition as n factorial is equal to n into n minus 1 factorial. We can say that n into n minus 1 factorial. So, that is a here, that is a recursive terminology where 1 factorial is 1. The 1 factorial is 1, that is the end point. End point. Now, by using this logic, we can write a recursive function definition. What is the recursive function definition? If the given number is 1, the return, the factorial is 1. The given number is 5, the factorial is 5 into 4 factorial. The given number is 6, the factorial is 6 into 5 factorial. Like the given number is n, the factorial is n into n minus 1. So, that is a recursive function definition. This is the recursive. So, here to the C++ code for recursive function is, though that is a factorial function are taken. So, that will take the integer number, whenever you pass the integer number. So, where that you are checking the integer number. If n is equal to 1, less than or equal to 1, then you can say that return 1, else return factorial of n minus 1 into n, and you can write either n into, you can write factorial of n minus 1, you can write whatever may be. So, that is a recursive function. Simply you can say that recursive function is a function that can call itself, or a recursive function is a function in which there is a one statement that can calls itself. The recursive function must have a one end point. There must be an end condition that can terminate the recursion. So, that is the recursion. So, now we will see how use of stack in recursion. Use of stack in recursion. So, generally we all of you know what is a stack. Stack is a special area of memory where the temporary variables are stored. In the concept of recursion, stack is a special area of memory where the temporary variables are stored. So, generally the stack act as a LIPO data structure, a concept of LIPO principle. The stack uses a concept of LIPO principle. Stack uses a concept of LIPO principle. So, generally to understand how the stack is useful in the recursive function, I have taken a recursive algorithm. The recursive algorithm is to find out the factorial of a number, factorial of a number. So, they are taken the computing the factorial. So, there is taken here factorial coding. So, if n is n less than or is equal to 1, return 1, else return into factor. So, let us say consider n is equal 3. So, then what will happen? So, if n is equal to 3 means we have to calculate the 3 factor, which is 3 into 2 into 1 is equal to 6. Now, consider the first call. So, when this is a function definition, whenever n is equal to the first call may be fact of 3, fact of 3. Now, we will see what happens. So, whenever n is equal to 3, whenever n is equal to 3, n is equal to 3, see I am just I am pushing a, I am showing a stack here. So, n is equal to 3 mean, what is our logic? If n is equal to 1, if n is equal to 1, if n is equal to 1, what is then n is equal to 3? 3 less than 1? No. 3 is equal to 1? No. Automatically this else block will be executed. What is the else block? Return n into, return n means here 3 into factorial of 3 minus 1. Factorial of 3 minus 1 is factorial of 2. That means here the function call is 3 into fact of 2. So, there is a function calling statement, so that now number 3 will be pushed into the stack, number 3 will be pushed into the stack, and again the function call fact of 2 will be invoked. Now, again fact of 2, now what is the n value? 2, 2 is less than 1? No, again else statement will be executed. Now, in the else statement the function call is 2 into fact of 1, fact of 1. Again there is a function call, so that n2 will be pushed into the stack, pushed will be into the stack. Now, again the function calls fact of 1. Now, n is equal to 1, 1 less than 1? No. 1 is equal to 1? Yes. Hence, when n is equal to 1, the return statement will be executed. The return value is 1. The return value is 1. Now, whenever there is no function value, the previous element will be taken back. That is, already the result fact of 1 is 1. Now, into, now pop the last value. What is the last value here? 2 from the stack, 1 into 2, and the expression is 2 into 1. Now, again pop the next value. What is the next value? Now, 2 will removed. Now, what is the next value? 3. Now, 1 into 3 into 3. So, this is a recursive function. So, this is the way how the function is, how the stack is used in the recursive function. So, in the recursive function concept, so some there are some terminologies have to do. The factorial function runs 3 times for n is equal to 3. So, whenever n is equal to 3, the factorial function calls one time when n is equal to 3, n is equal to, n is equal to 1. So, this is called as a recursive depth. So, here when n is equal to 3, the function called 3 times. So, this is called as the number of times a function call itself is known as a recursive depth. So, here the recursive depth is 2, because function call itself only 2 times. Next is that each time the function calls itself, it stores one or more variables on the stack. Since stack hold a limited amount of memory, so we already told that here once one will stored in the stack, second time 2 will be stored in the stack, like that some data will be stored into the stack. But we already discussed that stack is a limited memory. Whenever there is no memory in the stack to store the temporary values, so that concept is called as a stack overflow, stack overflow. Next is that the recursive function go into 2 distinct phases. One is inserting element into the stack and one is removing element from the stack. So the inserting process, that is the pushing, inserting and removing, this inserting process, that is called as a winding. Winding occurs when the function calling itself and pushes values into the stack. వాల్యూస్ తీసుకొని పుష్ చేయడం ఏమంటాం మనం ఇక్కడ మనం స్టాక్ అనడం జరుగుతుంది, అంటే వైండింగ్. యూ కెన్ సే దట్ వైండింగ్. సో రిమూవింగ్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద స్టాక్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ అన్వైండింగ్. Popping the values from the stack is called as a unwinding. So that is a recursive function. This is a recursive function. So dear students, this is the recursive function definition. In the next video, we will discuss about the types of recursions. Now just to write down these notes, by seeing this video, write down the notes, or I will send you a PDF file shortly of total second unit. Just listen and write down the running notes. Write down the running notes. I will send the PDF notes in the group, no problem. Okay. Thank you students. If you have any doubts, feel free to WhatsApp by clicking on the private reply privately. Thank you.